Hello and welcome to another episode of The Standings, where we review the sports standings except we're sitting. I'm Daniel and I'm of course joined by Cameron and Morgan today. How was your weeks?
It's been real entertaining. I feel like we've gotten so much sports news this week, so I'm excited to dive into it.
I have to say the exact same thing as Morgan here.
Well, we didn't have a lot on Monday, but we come to Wednesday now and it seems like a lot of stuff has blossomed and really formulated for the show, so it's great. Moving into our first topic, we're going to talk about Matthew Stafford restructuring his contract with the Rams. My question to both of you is, was this the right move for the Rams?
I am saying yes, this is the right move for the Rams. It helps them avoid a rebuild for right now. They also gave offensive lineman Alaric Jackson a 3-year deal too to help that issue. There's also been a great support from social media saying Stafford is the man for us. He's going to get us another ring. And if Stafford gets this second ring with them, he will be the best quarterback in Rams history. I mean, how can you not be optimistic about the future between Stafford and the Rams? And then we see Kelly Stafford, his wife, post on social media, "No place like home." So it's really interesting to see that there.
I think it's more interesting to see that how Kelly switched up like as soon as he got the money, where she was like, "Oh, he's miserable. He's miserable. We love it here." Like that was a little weird to me, but I think this is a horrible move for Stafford himself because he's only delaying the inevitable. This deal only gets him one more year of guaranteed money. The same situation is going to happen next year, and he's probably going to end up going to the Giants. And the Giants fans right now, I would be crying a little bit.
From what you said, a lot of stuff happens behind closed doors where I think Kelly was influenced by that. And then what you said as well with how he may have made the wrong move, I will get into that. So, yes, I believe the Rams made the right move. And the Rams made the right move because now they have a top 10 quarterback. Undoubtedly, I think we'd all agree here, he's a top 10 quarterback. So you would have to sign him. It's not a quarterback-rich draft. There's not a lot of free agents that are floating around. So it's the right decision for the Rams, especially when their defense is so young and blossoming as well. Nan McVay, it's the belief by many that he can develop anybody under that system. So was it the right move for the Rams? I believe so because it's the best talent you could have gotten. But as far as Stafford goes, this might be his last dance with the team. If he doesn't succeed this season, or maybe even by Thanksgiving, he might be gone if another better option is on the table. So it's really all in his hands right now, and him restructuring is the best thing the Rams could hope for. We're going to move into our next topic, which is Joel Embiid being out for the season for the Sixers. My question to both of you is, what should the Sixers do with this situation, and what should they do moving forward?
I think looking at Joel Embiid, there's a lot you need to process here. I think Joel Embiid was cursed from the beginning going into the NBA. 2014, days before the draft, he needs to get surgery on his foot for a stress fracture with a 4 to 6 month recovery time. And then in 2015, he breaks the same bone, has to get surgery again, missing the 15-16 season. And then 2017, 30 games into the NBA, he falls, aggravates his knee, misses 3 more games, and he's eventually ruled out for the next season. Then 2018, he has that big collision with Markelle Fultz, causing that concussion, and he breaks that orbital bone again. 2020, finger injury, misses 9 games. 2021, Embiid falls, and he tears his meniscus, and he's later out for COVID protocol. 2022, Embiid tears a ligament in his thumb in Game 3 of the conference playoffs against the Raptors, requiring another surgery in the offseason. 8 days later, he gets a concussion and back to that orbital fracture. 2024, Embiid has that torn lateral meniscus that requires more surgery on his left knee. And then once again, in April of 2024, he says that he's been diagnosed with Bell's palsy, so he has paralysis in his face, migraines, and blurred vision. Christmas Day, he comes in and he sprains his foot. Then he has a sinus fracture. And February 2025, we learn once again, Joel Embiid cannot play. He is cursed. He is the biggest what if in Sixers history. And his contract goes through 2029, but it's a big liability issue with the Sixers. They need to decide what they need to do with him. And financially, this is going to be very hard for the Sixers to decide what to do. But I think what's best for them is they need to learn to rebuild with younger people and kind of get off this Joel Embiid train because it's just too dangerous to let him keep playing.
And you kind of went through everything I was going to say. I think Joel Embiid needs to think for Joel Embiid. He needs to retire. He needs to reignite the love for basketball. After all these injuries, pull a Michael Jordan. Go play baseball. Go play soccer. Go do something else for a year. Get that passion back, and hopefully you can come back to MVP form.
So you had an amazing summary of his whole career, and it, in this segment alone, has changed my opinion of what I was going to say and what I had prepared versus what I'm going to say right now, which is that right now, the Sixers do need to tear it down altogether. And I was initially going to say they're going to tear it down and build around Joel Embiid, but maybe tear it down at this point and build around Tyrese Maxey and build around the talent you already have. One thing that they have is Tyrese Maxey and Paul George playing right now, and they're not even contenders. The East is not bottom heavy. They should be contending right now by all means. And having Embiid get hurt now and be out for the season is even more of a blow to the team. So, just like you said, he is cursed.
I think Philadelphia is just cursed in general. They have had heartbreak after heartbreak, and then they finally got their chance with Embiid and Jimmy, and then Kawhi breaks their heart. Like, Philadelphia just sell the whole team at this point. Like, you are cursed.
And another thing you could do is you should probably fire Nick Nurse. That is what I'm calling for, is because if Maxey and Paul George are still playing and you're still not getting production, it's coming from somewhere else that you're not a winning team anymore. And I believe that's Nick Nurse in this situation.
I agree.
Or Paul George just sucks. I think you're forgetting to realize that. He has regressed horribly.
He has regressed, but we'll have to see what happens because he still has the capability of having that talent. I think nobody could doubt that as well. We're going to head to a commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
Hi everybody, I'm Nico Moletta. I'm an anchor for Royal Studios. You can catch me every Friday on Royals Weekly. We talk about different things going on around campus, the successes of our student athletes, and other Royals Weekly exclusive things that you have to tune in to see. So I hope to see you there, and I'll send you back to the standing.
Welcome back from the break. Let's talk about recent NFL news and the trades that have been happening. Deebo Samuel has gone to the Commanders for a 5th rounder. What do we think of this move, and does this move elevate the team even further in the NFC?
I think this is a great move. Deebo Samuel is a very unique player. He's a receiver. He's a runner. His versatility is what the Commanders need going into next season. And Deebo Samuel and the Commanders can learn from each other, and that'll be very exciting to see. One thing the Commanders do need to work on going into the season is the turnovers. That's what's making them lose games here. But I think we could see them do well in the NFC again. And last season, the record was 12-5. I think we could see them win a few more games coming up.
I'm a little conflicted on this move. If you waited a couple more days, look who's on the market. Devontae Adams is on the market. Just today, Christian Kirk was made available. DK requested a trade. I feel like you could have gotten more value out of Devontae Adams, even how old he is. And then you probably could have gotten Ayuk, because there's rumors about Ayuk getting traded as well. Like, he played with Daniels in college. Like, I feel like Deebo is a little washed ever since that 1 year. He's not even running the ball anymore ever since they got CMC. That was like his main selling point when he got that giant contract. Now it's like, oh, you're paying for like a mid-top 20 receiver who isn't even like at his peak. I don't really understand the move.
It's very conflicting for me as well. I will totally agree with that. An injury-riddled player you're getting now that really doesn't elevate the team past what it already is. They finished second in the NFC. So you're not elevating the team to this point. They already have Terry McLaurin and De'Ami Brown, who are going to be the receivers on that team. Deebo's going to come in, and he's going to play the same role he did with the Niners, which is what he didn't want to do. He's going to be that gadget guy, similar to what they had in Curtis Samuel a few years ago. So when they have Deebo Samuel now, he's going to fit great in that Cliff Kingsbury offense. But like you said, there's receivers that would have elevated the team that would be available just days later. So I think they were just anxious to make the move. They were anxious to have that third receiver on the team. Will it elevate Jaden Daniels' play? If he stays healthy, absolutely. But one move that would elevate the team that is being rumored is Myles Garrett to the Commanders. That's a move that would put you right up there with the Eagles.
Win with that. You're going to have to give up Jonathan Allen in that deal. I don't think the Browns would take anything less than 3 first-round picks and Jonathan Allen. But at that point, you're losing the interior strength that like you're known for. I know you have Jazir Newton, I know you have Deron Payne, but Jonathan Allen is a game wrecker. And having that rotation, as the Eagles showed, if you have a rotation of interior defensive linemen, that is completely can win you a full game.
It will be interesting to see what the Commanders do going forward. Let's jump into our next topic, that being our March Madness predictions, very early predictions. Let's make them. Who is the most dangerous team in your eyes?
I'm saying most dangerous team going into this tournament is Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee. Will they win the entire tournament? I'm not sure. March Madness is beautiful for the upsets, and you just never know what's going to happen in that tournament, and I love it. But Tennessee had that game-winning three-pointer against Alabama for their fourth consecutive win. They are tied with Alabama and Michigan State for having 10 quad one wins, which is the second most in the country. They're fourth in the SEC right now, but if they win 2 more games, that'll really boost them going into this tournament.
See, I know you said Tennessee, which they just beat Alabama, but I'm still going to stick with Alabama being the team to beat in this tournament, having the highest offense in the whole NCAA right now. They have top 10 in bench points, which I think is more underrated than anything else. If your bench can play, that can really elevate you throughout a prolonged tournament against so many teams, so many talents. And honestly, if they get their field goal percentage up into like the top 10, they're like 15 right now, hovering around that 15-20. If they get that field goal percentage up, oh my God, I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop that team.
So if I'm taking a home stance, because I will right now, it's going to be the Duke Blue Devils. Led by Cooper Flagg, they are an incredible team, and they look unbeatable right now. I know that the other teams you mentioned might also look unbeatable, but the Duke Blue Devils, from a team aspect inside and out, really look great right now. But I'll give you a sleeper team, and that being St. John's. St. John's, led by Rick Pitino, who is a culture changer. He comes in to every organization, whether it be Boston University, Providence, Kentucky, Iona. He comes in and changes the culture and makes the team win. He's making this team win. They're atop the Big East right now. They're the team to beat, and they're scary dangerous coming into this tournament. Let's go to commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
Hi everyone, I'm Akila Wallace. I'm an anchor for Royal Studios. Right now, I'm behind the scenes of the standings. You can find me on the Scranton Scope every Thursday. We talk about movies, music, and about events and spots in our area that you can pop up to and have a good time. Back to the standings.
Welcome back from the break. We're going to talk about one individual game from the NBA this week, that being the Cavs and Celtics. Now, in this game, the Cavaliers were down to the Celtics 25-3, and the Cavs ended up making a comeback. So, what does this win do for them, and are they the team to beat in the East now?
The Cavs have been the team to beat in the East. Yes, we love the Celtics. They are a great team. They won last year, but we meaning Dan. But that is the team to beat. The Cavs are first in the East. 51-10 is their record. They have 11 straight wins, and they have gone on multiple winning streaks this season. Donovan Mitchell, he's averaging 24.3 points, 4.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists. Darius Garland, 21.1 points, 2.5 rebounds, 6.7 assists. Evan Mobley, 18.6 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. This is the team to look out for. There are other good teams in the East, but Kenny Atkinson was the right head coach to take over for the Cavs in 2024. They are just in their groove right now. They are really doing so well, and this is the team to watch out for.
I'll have to agree and disagree with you there, Morgan. I think that the Celtics are still the team to beat. They have the experience. They have the ring. Even if they struggle, once they get the playoffs, they are going to light up. And I don't think the Cavs are that good in long run. In a 5-game series, I'm still going to take Boston over them any day of the week.
I'm going to have to pump the brakes on that. Not yet for the Cavs. They may look like the team to beat in the East right now, but they really aren't. And we just have to go to recent history, which tells us that the Celtics just beat them 4-1 in the series. They just got beat. They got dominated in that series. And the Celtics remain atop for now until proven otherwise. They handedly beat them in the playoffs. And that's what we're looking at overall is in the East going into the playoffs. So right now in the regular season, they're having a great season, and yes, you highlighted some of the best stuff that they have. But this is more of a statement win. This is similar to me to when the Lakers won against the Nuggets just last week. It's a statement win, but no one here believes that you'll beat them in a 7-game series. Let's move into our next topic, that being Saquon Barkley signing a new contract with the Eagles. It's 2 years, $41 million. He's the highest paid running back in NFL history. What do we think of this?
So all but $5 million is guaranteed in this contract, and it's really interesting to see how much money he's taking for this contract. It's kind of insane. 2 years and all this money, and you're seeing like players are being dropped from the Eagles. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, they were dropped so they could create that $6 million in the salary cap there. So is it more important for you to save your team or take the money? So obviously he deserves money. He's a great player, and it's just really interesting to see his dynamic right now, and it's pros and cons all around with this one.
I'm going to question Howie Roseman on this move. This extension means that he's getting this money after he turns 30, which is the historic drop-off for every running back besides Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. I don't understand when they have so many other pieces that they're losing. You have to re-sign Zach Bond still, and you need to replace Darius Slay now. You need that third corner. I mean, you're probably going to move Cooper DeJean back down into the number 2. But, you have other needs that, even I wouldn't pay a 30-year-old running back. I love this for the running back market. It's resetting it. Everybody's going to get paid, but now, James Cook might make $25 million. Is he worth that?
So going into the year, I was a huge hater on Saquon. I did not believe he had the talent to do anything, and he quickly changed my mind when he was on the Eagles. So should Saquon have taken less money? Maybe, but I think no. Do I think the team should have made the deal? No, because I sometimes stick to my statements, which is that I don't believe Saquon's all that. But with this, Saquon should take less money for his team, and them paying him after he's 30 is absurd to be doing it this far in advance. He's deserving, very deserving as a running back, but this is quite weird for the team as they're dropping some of their best players that they just won a Super Bowl with.
I mean, James Bradbury had to go. I think everybody can acknowledge that. And Darius Slay, he probably wanted out. I think there's a lot going on behind the doors because all of his guaranteed money ran out. So I think they were doing this as a favor for Slay. But yet again, a 30-year-old running back, you don't pay. I think just historically, like I said, historically speaking, you don't pay anybody over 30, especially that amount of money.
It's really interesting. It feels like that they're paying him for last season. Oh, you did good last season, let's pay you more now. And, you do see that, but, 30, how good are you going to be in the future?
He's locked in. Howie, just let him go. And if he wants to walk out, he got you a ring already. Let him go.
I think for the players that won a ring already, they're fine with leaving because they won the ring. And in this case, Saquon won his ring, and now he just wants more money. That's the most confusing part about it, is he got what he wanted, and now he wants more. And that might have been built up by fan hype and, saying, oh, you're the best player on this team right now. And I think a lot of people would say that he's one of the best players on that team right now, but that team was complete, and we saw them dominate in the trenches to win their championship.
I mean, Saquon Barkley has had a top 2 running back season of all time. It's one of those things where it's you want to please the fans in a point where you paid Carson Wentz, where it's hey, he's been a little shaky ever since he tore his ACL, but he's our guy. And Saquon's the guy for right now, but that's the risk you take in an extension.
And bringing up Carson Wentz, Saquon Barkley he's been injury riddled throughout his years. So what we could see, if the offensive line does not immaculately protect him the way they've been, is he gets hurt again, and all of a sudden this contract looks a whole lot worse. It looks like the worst decision they've made. And when we look at the cap that they already have, yes, they released a ton of their guys that they're not re-signing, and they'll probably get people that are cheaper, but they're pushing a lot of money down the line, and they might end up in a situation like the New Orleans Saints where they are in cap hell.
Jalen Hurts' contract is structured in a phenomenal way, though. He frees up a lot of money that I didn't even know that you're even able to do with the cap. New Orleans, take notes, because you guys really messed up for the next 20 years and the past 20 years. But it's so weird with the cap, how different it is, especially with it going up. It's not a horrible deal now. If it keeps going up like it has been, this could age maybe more like fine wine, but yet again, 30-year-old.
You never know. And we don't know personally. We're not the ones looking at the books and looking at the money, but just looking at it from an outsider's perspective, it seems like they're spending a lot of money and they're not bringing back a lot of their great players. It's very interesting to see, and we'll have to see how the Eagles do going forward. That's all for the standings.
Thank you for watching the standings.
Make sure to check out other Royal Studios productions.
Leave a like and subscribe.
See you next time.